So it's been a little over a week since we got the first quarter fundraising numbers from candidates, incumbents, basically anybody running for office. Your first quarter financial disclosure came out last Friday. And as the week went on, as people dug into these financial reports, what we found was that some of Donald Trump's most loyal supporters in Congress and lawmakers that he personally appears to be a very big fan of aren't doing so well this year. Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Madison Cawthorn, Matt Gaetz, all four of them had an absolutely horrendous first quarter this year. In fact, between the four of them, based on what they spent in first quarter and what they raised in the first quarter, the four of them had a collective net of $225,000 between the four of them. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Madison Cawthorn are actually underwater. They spent more than they raised. Boebert has only about $100,000 on hand. Matt Gaetz, he's got a decent amount of money. He actually has a couple million on hand, even though he had a horrible first quarter. Now, there's lots of things that play into this. And Madison Cawthorn, I don't even want to get into him because he's got so many problems, he's not even worth talking about. I've discussed that at length. Marjorie Taylor Greene's pathetic fundraising, there is a reason for it along with the other two, and I will get to that in a moment. But her pathetic fundraising also doesn't matter because she is in a Republican plus 50 district. So as long as she gets to stay on the ballot, she's totally cool. Totally cool with Republicans. They'll put her back in office. She could raise $0 between now and the election, and if she's the nominee, she's got it. Same thing, by the way, unfortunately, with Matt Gaetz. So even though he had a lower first quarter, it doesn't matter. He doesn't even have any strong primary challengers. He's got a couple. They have good messaging, but they're not gaining traction. So Gaetz doesn't have to worry about anything. He could blow through his whole, millions. I think like 5 million is what he has cash on hand. He could blow through that next month and still win this election. Assuming, of course, he's not in jail. The person it's a real problem for, of course, is Boebert. Boebert has a very tough primary challenger, Don Coram. He is a Republican state senator in the state of Colorado. He is hugely popular. Boebert is losing support even in her district that, again, redrawn, became more Republican, but they're not like hard right Republicans. They're more moderate Republicans. So Coram actually has the advantage there. So Boebert only having like $100,000, she's in trouble. And that is very, very important. And I hope she loses the primary and then kind of goes away from our life forever. Go back, run your restaurant, whatever. I don't care. Stay out of politics, though. That would make us all happy. Now, for Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene, though, these two people, barring anything wild happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene's election challenge, and, of course, Matt Gaetz not going to jail. So you see, actually, there's a lot of caveats, isn't there? And I think it's those caveats, even with Madison Cawthorn, that kind of are making people think like, well, hold on, wait a minute. I don't know that I want to give this guy money if he's going to be in jail by the time the election rolls around. I don't know that I want to give Marjorie Taylor Greene money if she may not even be able to be on the ballot. Same thing with Madison Cawthorn. So I think that's reason number one why those three are facing such a tough financial time right now. They've all got a lot of serious problems that could result in them never being in office again. So let's assume that Greene and Gaetz survive, right? Okay, so they survive their challenges, their investigations, all of that. Nothing bad happens. Another reason that they could end up, of course, not raising much money is because their shtick is growing thin with the public at large. They raised a lot of money last year by going around and telling everybody that these January 6th Capitol rioters were actually political prisoners. That was their whole thing. They raised lots and lots of money off that. But so what happened? What was different in this first quarter? Well, we started getting the prison sentences. We started having the trials where so far every Capitol rioter that's taken their case to a jury has lost. More and more has started to come out about it. More and more has started to come out from the January 6th committee. And as people kind of wake up to these realities, they're starting to see that these lies that Gaetz and Greene have been selling them are exactly that. And I think that is probably one of the biggest reasons why those two have suffered such a huge fall from grace. Again, for them, it may not matter. But for people like Boebert and Coauthor, it matters a lot. And it could be the difference between victory and defeat in their upcoming primaries. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.